Zoe Saldana has spent this entire season screaming. That cannot be easy. This is what I've been saying about this season all along. These programs, these military programs, that the one that we're seeing, LIONESS, they're not training agents, they're training sociopaths. How am I supposed to empathize with them? Literally orders from above, from, I don't know, whoever is responsible for this team, saying, no, we saw the trafficked children. We saw the 500 trafficked children. No, leave them behind. Not our problem. Our mission is much bigger. And by the way, you might be asking, what is bigger than 500 trafficked children? Messing with a cartel that they suspect has become the minion for the Chinese intelligence, just to keep them at bay, just to teach them the rules of the game or whatever. That's the mission. The mission is just to put the supposed Chinese intelligence in their place. And that's more important than 500 children. Trafficked children. There is no doubt in my mind that Jo, at one point in her career, was a lioness. And in this episode, they are very clear about it. Because Jo finally sees a potential way out. Because she sees Manuelos being such a great lioness. And being a great, how do you say it? When an agent has an asset, a manager, that's not how you say it, but she's good in managing her lioness, and she's taking to the job more easily than Jo did. And the reason why Manuelos is taking to the job more easily than Jo did is because she doesn't have anyone to go back to. She doesn't have the family that Jo has, because she was completely destroyed when she went into the army. Imagine you fighting for your life every single day of it, you getting handed a horrible hand in life, being abused by your partner, literally running away from him and stumbling into the army, and then enlisting because you have nothing left. And because you have nothing left, you fight and fight and fight and become the best at what you do, just to then take the place of someone else who's going back to their family. And you know that if Manuelos replaces Jo, she's never leaving that job, because what else does she have? And this is the thing, how am I supposed to empathize with people who train agents to be sociopaths and just obey, who then train other agents to be even more sociopaths and just obey? With that said, in this episode, I did empathize more with Jo, and I could see a different side to her that we haven't seen a lot since season 1, because she does try to save the children, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But the thing that is important to state is that if you can justify leaving 500 children behind, you can justify anything. And this is the thing that it will never make sense to me. The idea that you have to sacrifice some people for the greater good of everyone, that will never make sense in my mind. Because what do you mean? If the only way a species as advanced and as capable as our own, we have the capacity to reflect on our own behavior, to reflect on our own thoughts. If the only way a species like us can stay alive and survive is by sacrificing some of us, then maybe we are not as evolved as we think. Because it doesn't make any sense to me that the only way to bring forth peace is by sacrificing certain people. And not willing people as well. It's one thing if you told me, oh, I'm going to sacrifice myself for the greater good of everyone. I will make that choice. These are children. And then we get the statement of the episode, because I don't remember the name of this guy. The blonde asshole dude who is always fighting with Jo says to Jo, why are you letting the tools decide? Because the team is upset that they're not going to rescue the 500 children, and Jo is giving them leeway to be upset. And this guy tells Jo, girl, Jo, these people are tools. objects for you to accomplish your mission. Why are your tools having opinions? The tools in question are her team, who just saw a warehouse full of children. And honestly, I have to give the show praise for this, because they're actually being able to portray how absolutely cold and detached and sociopathic this system and these programs, these military programs actually are. I mean, I'm assuming they're exaggerating a lot for drama purposes, but in my mind, I'm thinking, how much are they actually exaggerating, you know? So I have to give props for the show for showing this aspect of this, and also for showing an ambivalent Joe, which we don't often see. But I like that. I like that, and I was enraged watching it. I was just, oh my god, can we please kill this dude and go save the children, please? Like, at this point, I'm literally only here for Cruz. Like, baby girl, I hope she just leaves. That's what I'm asking this entire season. That's what I'll be asking for Cruz to leave. Like, for her to finally be like, my abusive boyfriend was not the thing for me. Neither are these people. These people are just as abusive as he was. I got a bolt. That's what I hope for this season. I hope that she leaves and she never comes back. And if we have a season 3, it doesn't include Manuelos. If it includes Manuelos, it just includes like a montage of her and Aaliyah. I think that was her name, the girl from season 1. Just a montage of those two in a beach somewhere enjoying pina coladas. That's what I want. If I can see that, I can abandon the show. And then we get the most beautiful part of this entire season, because the entire season is explained in the conversation that Nicole Kidman has with her husband in the show. Nicole Kidman's character, I don't remember her name. It happens in like 5 lines of dialogue, something like that, and the entire season is explained, and it makes you wonder if this is like worth sacrificing 500 children. And this is what they say. It's all about money and power. The US calls China the enemy. China calls the US the enemy. But in reality, they are in a loveless, codependent marriage. And it's what I said before. It's so stupid. They're going to take out a cartel, which is a cartel that belongs to the new lioness's uncle. They're going to take down the cartel because apparently the cartel has been recruited by the Chinese Secret Service to be like their minions. And I don't know what kind of missions they're going to carry out, what kind of espionage. I don't know. The cartel is the Chinese espionage. The cartel is the Chinese Secret Service minion. And the US, being the wife in this marriage, thought, baby boy is getting too close to our boundaries. They're testing us too much. The chili last night was not so good. So they're like, I gotta bring them down a peg. So they're going to dismantle this entire cartel, put all these lives in danger, sacrifice the 500 children, basically to annoy the husband. But I did enjoy this metaphor of it being a chess game, a very, very long chess game where both sides know that neither can win or lose, because if either wins or loses, the other one also loses. And I like this idea of a chess game where the only possible ending is like a draw between two kings, and that they are just taking the longest possible way there. They're prolonging it as much as they can and sacrificing pieces, only strategic pieces on the way. So basically, the US is putting a piece in danger, which is a Lioness team, to try and take out the cartel, which is a piece in the Chinese chess game. And I really like this metaphor because it has only one ending. And the only thing that these people are doing, like millions and millions and millions of dollars and whatever the Chinese currency is, I can't remember, just being spent on espionage and secret services and militaries just to prolong the game. because really they are dependent on each other. That's a nice metaphor. Like, if you enjoy nothing else about this show, you're gonna enjoy that for sure. I enjoy that, even though this show enrages me beyond belief. I would watch an entire season of just Nicole Kidman's character and her husband just going to dinners, going to brunches, going to events, walking through their mansion, just discussing the most horrendous, like disastrous events in world history, the most awful wars and conflicts and genocides happening in the world, and them just whispering it to each other at the dinner table or while eating ice cream or something. I would watch that. That would be interesting. Three more things before we end this video. One, it makes me happy that Jo could potentially get out of this life, this horrible life that doesn't give her any stability and literally threatens the life of her family. Makes me very happy. On the other hand, I do not want to see Cruz in it. Just terminate the program. Terminate it. Just don't do it anymore. Point two, I need to give a big thanks to whoever the person was that decided to include the ex-relationship between those two people. If you've watched the show, you know which two people they are that just keep fighting over their past relationship. Listen, I hate some of the points and opinions this show tries to make. Those two are hella fun. Give me a season of those two and I'll watch it. Point three. The new Lioness's dad is really just everyone's dad, isn't he? Homophobic, an asshole, misogynistic, really with those traditional backwards thinking views, but very extreme. Like the kind of extreme that you have no option but to disagree with. You know what I mean? This coming from the person who is helping to traffic children. Can you imagine complaining about women in the military while you are trafficking children? That's it for today. Find me tomorrow, potentially on